Good evening, I'm David Kramer at the National Weather Service with Alaska statewide weather. Starting off for the remainder of the day, we have a low pressure system out over the Gulf of Alaska that is bringing continuous moisture to areas all around the Gulf Coast, including the North Gulf Coast and Kodiak Island, and all the way through the Panhandle. With onshore flow in the Panhandle, we are seeing some of the heavier returns of precipitation over the Panhandle areas. Primarily expected to be rain at lower elevations with some snow as we get to higher elevations and near some of the coastal mountains. Primarily snow along the North Gulf Coast, especially as we get into the higher elevations there as well. And then up in the main part of the state, we are going to see some areas of light snow from eastern areas of mainland Alaska through the North Slope. And along the west coast, we're starting to see a lot of stronger winds out of a northerly direction, which is bringing some wind chills to some of the areas, especially in northern locations along the west coast. Some areas of blowing snow expected north of the Seward Peninsula as well. For tonight, ridging building in over the Bering Sea, keeping most of the central and western Bering Sea relatively dry, but some snow showers expected for many of the Aleutians and Alaska Peninsula. Out over mainland Alaska, still seeing strong northerly winds along the west coast. Those areas of wind chills and blowing snow will be a concern, especially north of the Seward Peninsula. In the eastern portions of the mainland, snow is going to remain throughout the night. And then down in the south central area and Gulf of Alaska, low pressure remains in the Gulf, bringing more moisture to the North Gulf Coast as well as into the Panhandle. On Monday, continuing to see low pressure in the northern portions of the Gulf of Alaska with more onshore flow for the Panhandle area. This is bringing rain at lower elevations and snow at higher elevations and into the coastal mountains. Throughout the southern portions of mainland Alaska, we are going to see some areas of snow returning. It's going to spread a little bit more inland due to a reinforcement of the low that is out in the Gulf. We're also going to see snow continuing down the Alaska Peninsula. Along the west coast, continuing to see northerly flow, but not a lot of new precipitation. And then out east in the mainland, we're going to see snow extending up from the Alaska Range through the North Slope. On Tuesday, a new system coming in from the west starting to bring some stronger winds and heavier precipitation to the western Aleutian Islands. And this system will continue to track farther to the east throughout the day on Tuesday. And Tuesday night, it could bring some blizzard conditions to the far western coast and St. Lawrence Island, and those conditions could linger through Wednesday. Out over the mainland part of the state, we're seeing snow out over the eastern portions of the mainland, extending down to south central Alaska, where low pressure continues to be in the northern Gulf. It's also going to bring continued precipitation to southeast Alaska. With Alaska statewide weather, I'm David Kramer.